Thrand here. I'm here for the Thrand YouTube channel. I'm here asked by Chuck Murray from Zombie Go Boom to compare the katana to the longsword. Well, the first thing I would like to say about it, the katana compared to the longsword, as you can see them setting here at an equal level side by side, is way shorter. The handle, the hilt is extremely long on the katana. It has no counterbalance and it's blade heavy. So what ends up happening is you get a blade you can draw quickly. It's a curved blade and it's a single bevel. If you look at the blade, it's a beautiful design. It's a back sword. That allows it to cut very effectively, and that's what it is. It's a cutter. This sword is designed to cut. And against samurai armor, that makes total sense. You have so much stuff you can actually cut. You can cut the cords on the actual sode. You can cut cords on the... you can literally sunder his armor and cut into it and then cut again and possibly hit the guy. There's lots of openings and niches. It's not very hard to fight against it. It's not like fighting full plate later century. So I don't think the sword needed to evolve much. It had to be used in civilian circumstances, kind of like the handgun in the Old West. So you could draw it quickly and fast with Aijitsu or Aido. And the blade reflects that. I mean, that's the shorter length. This is a longer one here. The hilt's a little bit longer, not by much. The blade's a little bit longer. But as you can see, I mean, that's the primary thing about it. It's a quick draw weapon. It's great if you're trying to go to your backup from your Yari or in that type of situation in battle. This would be the last resort. This should be compared to something like an arming sword, a knightly sword, or a Viking sword. I don't think it should be compared to a sword like this. Because let's look at this. This falls in the category of a longsword. This is a claymore. This blade, the only thing that keeps it from being in the pure category of a longsword is its weight. This one weighs about 6.1 pounds. This katana here weighs a little under 3 pounds. So if you compare them, the hilt's almost the same length if you really compare it properly, but it has way more hand protection. The longsword has a cruciform guard at the least. Sometimes it has side rings, sometimes it has swept hilts, sometimes it even has a basket hilt late century. And they existed anywhere, this sword existed anywhere from the 14th century up to the 16th century in its prevalent time. But if you want to stretch it, you could go all the way from the 13th century to the 17th century. So if you look at these swords, then yes, it's not a fair comparison. And the longsword, let's explain this one quickly, is a hand and a half or a two-handed sword. So this sword here falls in the same category. Get a hold of them here. They fall in the same category. If you look, this one's 34 inches. This is about 29 inches. Close, not quite. So you compare them, it's about 28 3/4 inches or so compared to 34 inches. Yeah, a long sword, even though these are cutter types, both these swords I have are for cutting, this one will cut better than the katana because it's got more weight. Might be harder to recovery, but it has a double edge. The thing about the shape, the Spatha style blade, is it's great for thrusting. It's not quite as rigid, but it also has two edges, so you can cut with both sides. And the stylized forms of a longsword, what most people think of is like the 15th, 16th century longsword, are very tapered. And these very tapered blades are great for dueling. They're lighter weight, so they can weigh 2.5 pounds. Or they could go all the way up to 4 pounds. So the katana, in its weight range from 2.4 to about 3 pounds, is nowhere in the same category, the same reach. You would have to go into like Tachi's, or old katana, or Otachi, or Onodachi is another name for that. So when you start getting to those blades, that's what I would probably compare to these type of swords here. I wouldn't compare the katana. The katana, although it's used two-handed, is very much just a arming sword, in my opinion. It does have more control and speed due to it being used two-handed, which was fine for the Japanese because their armor was set up where their armor was pretty much their shield. And against the armor they were using, it was still a relevant weapon. But for the Europeans, their swords changed because all you could do is thrust into niches. You had to fight with it in a different way. You almost used it like a sharp polearm or something, the longsword, when you were in armored combat. So due to the stylized techniques for armor and being able to half sword with it, hit with the pommel, hit with the quillions, use it like a club pretty much if you had to, use it like a blade against people who were wearing lighter armor, being able to thrust with it, using it in civilian situations, and the various designs you can get between these two extremes, I have to say that the longsword is superior in every way to the katana when it comes to advantages that you can gain from it. But not every single longsword would have the same advantages because different variations, and it's a category. It's a modern category that wasn't used historically. As for the katana, it's pretty much been that way around the 14th century up. The katana has been the katana. So if we look at it from that standpoint, then yeah, it's not really a fair comparison, and I would go with the longsword over the katana.